Chinmay, I really liked your trick. Can you tell us a couple of more tricks where we can let our audience know and they can use these tricks at home?
Okay, so there's one more that I know of. Like, suppose you're craving something that you really want to try out, right?
Correct, yeah.
But I think that's when you distract yourself from it.
Okay, and have you tried this out yourself?
Yes.
So how do you distract yourself?
So it's like you can go out for a walk,
Okay.
go out for a jog, or whatever your passions are. Like, for example, for me, it's painting and dancing. So I would just indulge myself into it, and you just forget about it.
So you just, you forget about the,
Yeah, the
craving
craving,
completely.
yeah.
That's something like, something that I do personally is whenever I feel like eating something and it's not time for me to eat it,
Yeah.
I trick my brain into believing that I'm actually getting something. So what I do is I'll have a cup of black coffee and a small piece of fruit. And that does it for me.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Let's talk a little bit more about the struggles of weight gain and how important your diet as well as physical activity is. So Chinmay, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I am a third year veterinary student at Mumbai Veterinary College, and also I'm a professional Bharatanatyam dancer.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your weight gain journey in the past couple of years.
Okay, so when I was in school, like from first grade to 10th grade, I was very much fit because I had a lot of extracurricular activities going on,
Correct.
right? But
Like
then,
sports and all in school,
yeah,
right?
yeah, sports and all. But then 11th and 12th came, so those are quite crucial years for
Correct, I
every
understand.
student, right? So that's the time when I actually started to gain weight.
Okay. So, like, did you stop doing physical activity or what happened?
Yes, so when I was in 11th and 12th, I was prioritizing my academics more than my health and my fitness. So,
Correct. So health kind of took a backseat.
yeah,
And how did that work out for you then?
not very good, honestly.
Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, because like initially it started with weight gain, like 2 kgs, then slowly 5, and then a slippery slope, and
Correct,
then
correct.
I
So
gained
over 2 years, how much weight did you put on?
almost like about 10 kilos.
10 kilos, okay. And now looking back, what do you think? What could have changed?
Honestly, I feel that I was in that situation, but I should have always kept my health a priority and fitness a priority. That
Correct.
is something I could have done even
I
then.
understand. But it's easier said than done, right?
True,
So what advice could you give someone who's in a similar situation? They want to lose some weight, but they're also extremely busy. So what could they do?
Yeah, like I feel most of us are really busy with our lives, so we can't like
Obviously.
take out 1 or 2 hours of our life
Correct.
and do gym and stuff. But I would definitely suggest that you should try something from your home, like
Okay.
small things, right? So
Tell us something that you do.
for me, it will be yoga, on the spot walking or jogging, or like skipping is something that you can start with.
Correct.
And once you get a hold of your strengths and everything, you can proceed ahead.
So what you're saying is don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for your exams to get over, right?
Yes.
Just take baby steps, even if they're like 10-15 minutes, just start at home
Absolutely.
and you'll get there.
Yes.
Right? How active are you throughout the day?
So for me, at the most, like if my day is very busy and I don't have time for myself,
Okay.
still I would take around like 45 minutes or 1 hour and do
Okay.
walking, and of course dancing is something I do.
Okay, so since you're a professional dancer, how many hours in a week do you actually dance?
So actually it depends. I dance mostly on weekends and alternate weekdays.
Okay.
I like approximately 6 to 10 hours, you can say.
6 to 10 hours of dance, and on top of that, some walking. And do you also work out, or that's not a...
No. Actually, I do yoga and Pilates as well.
Oh, amazing. Wow. So you're, I would say, extremely active throughout the week. That's about, 1 to 2 hours of workouts every single day.
Yes.
So in spite of being so active, why do you think you're struggling with losing the weight?
I would just say that I am a normal human being. I have my own cravings.
So let's get into that. Tell us a little bit more about your cravings, because all of us have cravings.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a sweet tooth, and
Okay.
there are some times where I just
So what is that? What is the choice of poison? Let's call it poison.
the chocolate, the Nutella cake, pancake.
Okay.
It's something I crave for whenever
I understand. I mean, I can feel you, but then how do you overcome that? Throughout the, like, say, in the past, whenever you've dealt with that situation where you're craving eating pancakes,
yeah.
what do you do?
So actually, there's this trick I use where
Okay.
I kind of like edge myself to that phase that I stop craving it. Like
How?
I would just say ki, okay, I am craving suppose ice cream for now,
Yeah.
and I'll say okay, I'll go and buy it in 1 hour.
Oh.
Then after that 1 hour I'll say okay, 1 hour I'll wait
Okay.
again, and then the craving automatically
Oh, so
goes
that's
away.
a really nice trick because you're just delaying what
Yeah.
you're supposed to eat.
Yes.
But because you know that you still get it, the craving eventually just goes away, right?
Right.
Oh, that's a really nice trick. I think everyone should, use it. So, Chinmay, I really liked your trick. Can you tell us a couple of more tricks where, we can let our audience know and they can use these tricks at home?
Okay, so there's one more that I know of. Like, suppose you're craving something that you really want to try out, right?
Correct, yeah.
But I think that's when you distract yourself from it.
Okay, and have you tried this out yourself?
Yes.
So, how do you distract yourself?
So it's like you can go out for a walk,
Okay.
go out for a jog, or whatever your passions are. Like, for example, for me, it's painting and dancing. So I would just
Okay.
indulge myself into it, and you
Uh-huh.
just forget about it.
So you just, you forget about the,
Yeah, the
craving
craving,
completely.
yeah.
That's something like, something that I do personally is whenever I feel like eating something and it's not time for me to eat it,
Yeah.
I trick my brain into believing that I'm actually getting something. So what I do is I'll have a cup of black coffee and a small piece of fruit. And that
That's
does it for
really
me. So Chinmay, in spite of being, so active, you're still struggling to lose weight, right?
Yes.
So can you tell our audience how important it is to eat right?
All right. So for me, like when I started exercising a lot, right? That's when I thought, okay, I am, burning off so many calories. I can eat one. I'm entitled to it. I used to
Correct.
feel that.
That
So,
happens a
but
lot.
it's actually wrong. You can't eat jitna you are losing, right?
Correct.
So I think you should also have a control on what you're eating and how much.
Exactly. So I'd like to point one thing out there is because a lot of people believe this, that we can burn off everything that we eat.
Yeah.
But do you know if you have like a medium-sized pizza, how many calories go in that? About 2,000 calories.
Wow.
Now tell me, how are you possibly going to burn off 2,000 calories at the gym? Is it possible? Exactly.
Right.
So that theory is not true and it's not going to work that way. Right. But because sometimes it's worse, I've seen people who work out gain weight. Because what happens is, like you mentioned, they're entitled to eating more.
Right.
So they work out for half an hour, but they end up eating a lot more.
Yes.
And then at the end of the month, they're like, oh, I ended up gaining weight. So how did you work on that?
So definitely cravings are something that we cannot completely ignore, but we can have take baby steps and control our portion little by little. I'm
Correct.
not asking you to completely cut off or else you're going to have withdrawal
Correct.
symptoms.
So did that happen with you? Did
Yeah,
you feel
actually
like?
it did. So for me, when I would stop completely eating sugar,
Okay.
and one day I'm like, I need that sugar,
Correct.
so you need to cut off slowly. If you are habituated to it, you cannot directly cut off.
Correct.
So that's something.
So it's like you can't suddenly one day stop eating sweet completely.
Yeah, no.
You would break it down and reduce one by one, step by
Yeah,
step,
yeah.
right? All right, amazing. Chinmay, you spoke about the diet, but a lot of times, I've heard women complain that they follow a strict diet and in spite of that, they don't end up losing weight as fast as they want to. So why does that happen?
I would say personally for
Okay,
me,
yeah.
I have borderline PCOS, or you can say mostly hormonal imbalance. Now this is something that's very common in
Okay,
women.
uh-huh.
So these are underlying conditions.
Correct.
If not, if you don't give it much attention, that can be a root cause of you not being able to
Okay,
lose
so
weight.
what you're saying is you might focus on your diet and you might work out, but in spite of that, if you don't cure this underlying
Right,
condition,
right.
you won't end up getting the results that you want to, right?
Yes.
Tell me, what's your weight loss goal for the next 1 year?
So it's very tough, I would say, but I am aiming for around 10 kilos or 12
Okay.
to
All right.
lose.
It's actually not that really difficult, but what obstacles are you facing right now?
It's very social obstacles, I would say.
Okay.
Because there are some people who would just come up to me and say, oh, if you would just lose a little bit of weight, you would look
Okay.
much more prettier.
And who are these some people? Can you tell me?
These some people are actually the people who are close to you, right?
Uh-huh.
Like
Like
immediate
friends and family.
Yeah,
okay.
the
Right.
friends and family.
And how does that make you feel?
Honestly, it makes me feel like, am I not good enough right now? And definitely it does not makes you feel good if someone's come and questioning you. But yeah, not so good.
And I mean, how did you eventually learn to deal with this?
I would just say that cutting off from some people for a while, because you know, right, what you're doing on yourself. You are working out. It's not
Correct.
like you're just sitting idle and
Correct.
people are coming. You know you're putting in effort. So
Yeah.
just to avoid that negativity and all those comments, you just isolate yourself or cut those people
Correct.
off.
Alright, right. So amazing. So to stick to your goals, there's one simple solution: just cut people off. Right? Okay. another point that I wanted to talk about is peer pressure.
Right.
You know, how much have you felt that your peers have forced you to do something that you didn't want to do?
So actually, I am one of those peers, I would say.
Okay. Wrong question then.
But definitely, like, you know, when you're out with your friends and, you know, you're just chilling and partying and clubbing, then they would like force, oh, you should have this drink. It's very
Correct.
good.
Just a drink. Just have one
Yeah, it's
drink.
just a drink
Correct.
and it's just a, you know, French fries, it's just a burger, just
Yeah.
try it. So that's something that comes in the way as well, I would say.
So I think your cutting out a trick will work here also, right?
Yeah.
Just cut out all those friends for a while.
Yes.
Until you get into perfect shape and you're confident.
Yes.
Right? So Chinmay, you know, you went down that unhealthy road.
Yeah.
And now you decided, no, I have to take charge of my health.
Yeah.
So what changed?
So I would just say that when I had, you know, weight, so you feel like you are low on energy
Okay.
and you fall sick often and you have less stamina.
Correct.
Even, you know, climbing some flight of stairs, you get all, you know, panting and all. So that's something I realized that I need to work on myself and I need to be a better and healthier version of me.
Correct. And you know, you mentioned that you didn't focus on your health because you wanted to, you know, succeed in your career.
Yes.
But don't you think it's counterproductive? Because if you're not healthy and you're not, you know, feeling your best,
Absolutely.
you can't give your best to
Best,
work as well.
exactly.
Right? Amazing. So could you give us any one final message for someone who's in a similar situation? You know, extremely active throughout the day, but still struggling to lose weight.
I would just say that you have to be more disciplined. Like, never lose that regularity.
Okay.
Be disciplined about your life and healthy lifestyle and all. That's something I would preach, but it's difficult.
I know, but even if it's like baby steps, right?
Yeah, it's baby step, but obviously you can cheat. Sometimes you can, you know, indulge into your cravings. Don't be too harsh on yourself.
Okay.
But you should also know that once you're into it, you have to know how to come back on track again.
Okay. So what you're saying is, even if you cheat once in a while,
Yeah.
don't get too demotivated.
Yes.
Right? The important part is come back on track.
Yes, don't feel bad about cheating. Just come. You should know how to pull yourself back out of it
Correct.
and lead a more healthier life.
Amazing. So anything else?
Don't lose hope.